What was collectivization and why did the Bolsheviks want it? Well, collectivization was an agricultural policy implemented by the Bolsheviks under Stalin's leadership to transform individual peasant farming into large, state-controlled collective farms. The Bolsheviks viewed this initiative as a more socialist approach to agriculture, one that would benefit the state rather than individual families. Reason 1: consolidating power and weakening rivals. The reasons behind this transformation are multifaceted and evolved over time. Firstly, it was a strategic move by Stalin himself to consolidate his power within the Communist Party. As the party's opinions started to shift against the new economic policy, or NEP, and the prosperous peasants known as kulaks, Stalin publicly supported accelerated collectivization. This move helped him weaken his political rival, Bukharin, and bolstered his reputation as a leader. Reason 2: collectivization was seen as a means to modernize agriculture. The majority of Soviet citizens were poor peasant farmers, using traditional methods and lacking machinery. Collective farming was seen as a way to improve these methods, increase food production, and free up millions to work in factories. Reason 3: dismantling the kulaks and addressing grain shortages. However, the transition wasn't smooth. The NEP, which allowed peasants to sell surplus food for profit, was popular among the kulaks. Stalin saw these kulaks as maintaining a capitalist influence in the countryside, which was unacceptable while he was trying to build socialism across the USSR. A significant motivation behind forced collectivization was to dismantle the kulaks, who were seen as enemies of socialism. By 1928, grain shortages became a pressing issue. Despite poor harvests, the state maintained low grain prices, leading peasants to withhold their grain rather than sell it to the state. This threatened the food supply to towns and cities. Stalin responded by forcibly seizing grain from peasants, a move that highlighted the need for a more controlled approach to agriculture. Reason 4: feeding the industrial workforce and funding industrialization. Feeding the rapidly growing industrial workforce was another crucial reason for collectivization. By 1928, the USSR was short of the grain it needed to feed its workers and was even importing food. For a country with vast agricultural resources, this was economically unsound and politically embarrassing. Finally, Stalin saw collectivization as a way to fund his industrialization program. By controlling farming, the state could purchase grain at low prices from collective farms and sell the surplus at higher prices abroad, generating funds to invest in industrialization. In summary, the Bolsheviks pursued collectivization to consolidate political power, modernize agriculture, eliminate capitalist influence, address food shortages, feed a growing workforce, and fund industrialization. This complex and often brutal initiative was a defining aspect of the Soviet Union under Stalin's rule, and had far-reaching consequences for the Soviet people and the world at large.